First war cloud appears and morphs. Last year on the 29th of December, I had a very vivid dream about war clouds on the horizon. While I was taken high up on a mountain, I saw the cloud in the distance. It is as if someone was standing behind me in the dream speaking, a divine being or angel telling me to look at the clouds. I watched as the cloud rolled in. It moved so slowly in the open sky, it moved and I was mesmerized by how it moved. It looked like tumbleweed rolling in the air. When I asked, "What is this I am seeing?" this being or angel I could not see told me this is a war cloud and to pay attention. I have been wanting to write this for the past 2 weeks, but I have put it off due waiting for further confirmation of events. Remember, the war cloud changed shape 3 times. When I first saw it, I was taken in by it. It was large, it was the only cloud in the sky, and it was rolling in. When I asked, "What is this?" I was told it was a war cloud, but when I looked at the war cloud again, it morphed for the second time. As I was getting my mind around the war cloud, what the being or angel told me, just wrapping my head around this war cloud, it changed and morphed again, but this time. From the second changing of the cloud to the third time, the cloud was over the entire country and over the nation. So let's discuss this first war cloud and how it is already formed and changing, morphing into the second war cloud. The first war cloud is Zuma's arrest and his MK vets standing by him, saying they would die for him. Then we saw Malema show up at Zuma's house. Now still to this day, Zuma has not appeared in court. He keeps saying it's because acting Judge Raymond Zondo has some issue with him and that he is married to a former wife. Let's look at this from a military angle. Remember, Zuma was in charge of the arm wing. He is not someone you play around with unless you are prepared to go to war. Zuma has hijacked the entire court case. Either they put someone in who will do what Zuma wants, or he will not stand trial. If you allow that, then you have to also accept what verdict Zuma gives himself. It's a power play. If Zuma gets his judge of choice, then he can also protest the outcome. This is all a war tactic to draw this process out, while bringing the country to the revolution. Now today the cloud morphed. We see the student protests. Do you think this just happened out of nowhere? Do you really think this is some flare-up or some one-off event? Think about it, take your time. I would prefer you think about it before I reveal it so you can see what is really going on here, and I will show you how this all fits in with these war clouds. Just take a minute to think about what I have said, pause the video if you have to, and think of the war cloud, who showed up at Zuma's house, Zuma's statements, MK vet statements, and now what the students are doing. Think about it before I reveal it. This way when you see the revelation it will have a much more impactful revelation than if I simply show it to you. Okay, so hopefully you have thought about things. I would prefer people think than simply let me talk and show you events. This way you can see them happen before anyone in the news mentions them. It was none other than Jacob Zuma who offered free higher education back in December 2017. What do we see happening right now with the students and their protests? Are they not demanding higher education? What did we see yesterday? Yesterday we saw MK vets attack foreign shops. Today we see student protests and we see the police heavy response. Why do you think the police took such a heavy response? The students were doing what they have always been taught to do, burning, breaking, destroying, the only thing these things can do. Again, we must ask why. This is a video of asking why, and then I will reveal it. This way you see the cloud morphing and changing, and are all will be getting prepared for when the cloud comes over the whole land. The police controlled from the top. No, this is the making of the country ungovernable. We are on the verge of a revolution. The police will not be able to hold the thing together. Zuma knows the country is on its knees. Who did we see making the most noise at the student protest? Was it not the EFF students? Oh yes, it was. Go watch the videos. So we have the students leading the protests led by the EFF. We had the EFF meet with Zuma a few weeks ago. We have the MK vets now burning down foreign shops in Natal. So the war is being waged now on 2 fronts. Now as the economy wobbles, as the ANC run out of money, as the police are stretched to capacity, you have a vacuum being formed. The police also not earning enough, higher inflation coming, soon they will be worked to the bone and the government will be pushed to use more force. This will lead to greater violence. The first war cloud was Zuma's people threatening war. They made sure that it was no idle threat, we saw them burn down the shops. We know Zuma was at the top in making KwaZulu-Natal ungovernable in the 1990s, we now have the student protests and more to come. Do you think it is a coincidence? Zuma is showing them he is in control. He has the support of the one faction of the ANC behind him, which leaves Ramaphosa out in the lurch. The problem comes now that you will have more violence against foreigners, police stretched due to more student protests, and this is where our greatest danger comes in because this is the beginning of the revolution. With the police stretched, how could they prevent or stop any mass attack against the whites as the seer spoke about? So Zuma is more than likely going to go to court, the news will focus on that case. This will be the focus, all the while the media is focused on that, they will not cover the protests going on in the background. This is the first war cloud morphing. We stare at the first appearance of the war cloud, then when we see what it is, our minds still do not fully grasp the severity of the situation. The first war cloud takes the center stage, even though it morphs and changes. We still focus on the first war cloud, and by the time we see the second war cloud and understand what is going on, it then changes into the third and final war cloud when it is over the nation and too late to react. First war cloud is Zuma's trial and his members' MK vets causing problems. Second war cloud does not seem too big, but it is part of the main cloud. These are the student protests and other protests which will come about, but no one will pay attention to them. Since Zuma will be in the news and everyone will be paying attention to the court case, the media is not covering the protests. Then when the protests get to the stage where you see highways being blocked, roads stripped, marches just around the corner from your house, this is when the third and final cloud appears, but it happens so fast that most will not have time to prepare because they were just getting past the first war cloud. Then seeing the second war cloud and acknowledging it is a war cloud, and by that time, it is too late, the cloud is upon the nation. The third and final cloud, and most people would not have seen nor understood what is going on. The war cloud, the first war cloud is already morphing, it has already changed, and the second one is before us. Remember, it is one cloud I saw roll in, but it changed 3 times. One cloud that rolls in, it's the same cloud. The only thing is the cloud changed shape 3 times, but it is nonetheless the very same war cloud. So it is an extension of the first war cloud, and the first war cloud is Zuma and his court case which is causing this. During the changing and morphing of this cloud, key army personnel will side with Zuma, and the dream where I saw the arrests saw revolutionaries and the army working together. If you remember a previous dream I put up, I even was shown who in reality is really behind all of this. It is mentioned a few months back with the jets arriving dream vision. This is a war cloud. This second war cloud of students protesting, attacking foreigners are part of it. The xenophobic violence plays into the revolutionaries' hands because they will point them in the direction of the whites. They are the least path of resistance. They are not going to attack a majority, and they will have been pumped up, revved up with anger and frustration. Early on in the year, first few days, I was told in another dream vision. The words came to me: pay attention to what is happening in the early part of the year, and we see Zuma took the center stage of this with his court case. We must not forget the increasing violence approaching white Afrikaans schools, where we see EFF supporters show up to cause issues. So we have the court case, the student protests, xenophobia, the school issues, and this is just the start. This is the same war cloud, it simply changes shape each time, and the people will be late. I was shown that the people, those who do not know or can discern what is going on, will always be 1 or 2 steps behind the war cloud. When they see it for what it is, it will have changed, and while they are getting to grips with this new information, seeing this war cloud on the horizon, It has already changed shape again, and as they get to grips with the new situation, it has changed once more, but they will not have enough time to prepare and get ready for the storm. Remember, it's a war cloud on the horizon. Once it's over us, we enter into the eye of the storm. The eye of the storm is a full-blown revolution. Student uprisings lead to revolutions, especially when you have the EFF who are behind it, and do we not also see Malema in court? So we have both Zuma and Malema in court, and from the court bench, they flex their muscle, showing the government who is really in control. Wake up, the first war cloud is already visible, and it is changing shape fast. Before you know it, it will have morphed into the third stage, and then we are in the eye of the storm. What Zuma and Malema are now doing is exactly what they did to the National Party to overthrow the government with chaos. This time, we do not have the police nor the army as we had back in 1994. This is a serious revolution brewing. May the Almighty God of Israel protect you, protect this nation. Stay safe, join groups, form groups, stock up on food, and get prepared for the storm. This is not meant in any way to be a message to discourage you or make you depressed. We have to deal with the reality of the situation, with or without the dream. This is happening. Praise be to the Almighty for revealing the dream to me to bring to you, dear people. May you be safe, may you stay safe, and may the Virklor fly, the four colors of the Boer flag. May God be with you.